to come on.
Yeah.
No problem. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay. We were waiting on a few people. But there we go. Ashley wasn't completely prepared. Sorry, my dear.
Sorry.
We fly by the seat of our pants sometimes.
So,
Like that glare back there.
So what we'll do is we'll maybe go around and just introduce ourselves and our social media where we can find each other and whatever, and then we can just start talking. So obviously, Sarah, steeped in books, you're watching this on my channel, so you clearly know where to find me. Chloe, go ahead.
I'm Chloe from Always Booked. I'm mostly here on BookTube, slightly on Instagram, not really, but sort of. So that's where you can find me.
Jen.
Hi, yeah, I'm Jen from The Book Refuge. I'm on all the social medias with The Book Refuge, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That's my name. So.
And Ashley.
I'm Ashley. I'm Ash Art Books on YouTube and Instagram. And I have a Twitter, but I really don't go on there, so I wouldn't use that to contact me. It might be a delayed response.
If you want to wait 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My daughter has recently started opening Twitter on my phone because she says, "Oh, Mama Birdie." And so she opens it and I'm like, shoot, that's just what I need is a 2-year-old tweeting for me.
People will be a little worried about you.
Right? Jeez.
Not good.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk TBR? Oh, there's Elizabeth. I'll give her a second. It looks like her camera's sideways. There we go.
Okay. I didn't know.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Hello.
We have our darkest of dark and our lightest of light.
That's me.
Yes.
I love it. I feel like I'm in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
That's
So,
good.
Elizabeth, if you want to introduce yourself and where people can find you.
Okay, I am Elizabeth at Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and I realized I just celebrated my 5-year BookTube anniversary on the 11th. I just thought about it like yesterday. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. This is only my second live show ever.
Cool.
Wow, welcome.
Will be nice.
So your BookTube anniversary is 7/11.
Yeah, I should remember that. Okay, thanks. So yeah. Next year I'll
My husband and I, we started dating on 10/4, and I'm like, gosh, we should have gotten married like 10/4. I mean, it just makes sense, but we didn't.
Your anniversary is 7/11?
No, our anniversary is August 6th. But
okay, but
I'm just saying, like,
it's a good way to remember
number things like that, like 10/4, 7/11. I can remember those. But he just got a package in the mail the other day, and I was like, "What is that?" And he was like, "What? It's a secret. I mean, our anniversary is coming up, and I thought we didn't do gifts for our anniversary, so I'm kind of scrambling here." And he's definitely the one. If one of us is going to forget it, it's going to be me.
You can't surprise someone with that. That's just mean. Like
What?
Well, I mean, it's nice to get a surprise, but when you're like, surprise, I like got you something and it's not gonna have anything for me. That would just paranoid me so bad.
He might be watching this, but I figured out something, so
Nice.
I've got something. Yeah.
You got him a new baby, so he can just shut it.
That was my Father's Day gift too.
Oh yeah, okay.
Born, like right before.
Oh damn! I
Father's
already
Day.
gave him that for Father's Day. I can't
Right.
forget the anniversary.
I actually gave him the
No,
baby.
a baby definitely counts for more than one gift.
Oh,
Okay.
fair.
Come on.
For like an eternity.
And it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right? Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So do we want to start by talking TBR? Does anybody who's watching this right now, are you guys looking for recommendations? We're here to help you with pretty much about anything. We're just here to chat. There's no real structure to this at all. But if anyone's looking for recommendations or we can talk our TBRs, let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
I watched Jen's video today of your TBR and your recommendations. In fact, I commented that I am going to read one of your recommendations. I added it to mine. Nothing dark, but I am going to read the Sarah Dessen book because I had already.
I tried to give you a variant.
Well, I thought, I need some more audiobooks anyway because I looked at my stack and I don't read 50 books a month, but I'm at about 30 right now. And so I looked at the 12 plus 2 or 3 extras that I had stacked up and I thought, this is not enough. I have to pad this. So I am going to read that Sarah Dessen book because it's on audio on Overdrive or something.
That's my favorite. I've loved that since I was like 16.
Which one is it? I haven't seen it yet.
Just Listen.
Just Listen.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah. And Jen, I was like 50 books. I feel so unaccomplished.
I know,
right?
Yeah, 50 was my average. The first month of Corona, I had 72, and I've walked it back.
What?
Had that in 1 month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I think booktubers kind of set a high bar for ourselves anyway.
Yeah.
And especially now, because I didn't used to read this much, but with audiobooks being digital and you can speed them up, it makes it so much easier to consume more. And Chloe, you read like about 30 books a month too, don't you?
Usually, I don't think I have this month, but I do.
You have an excuse there. I don't remember reading at all when my kids were little. I don't even know if I did.
Well, I'm up so much at night.
I have an excuse there.
Sorry, I had two things.
I don't know. I think I exited out mine. I had it up, so maybe that was me, but I closed it out, so it should be.
Yeah, well, it's my fault because I was gonna watch and then I joined and I didn't.
I was like,
it was my fault. Sorry.
No.
You're okay. No problem. No problem. So it looks like the big one that we're getting asked for are road trip.
Oh, me too, because I don't know.
Yeah, I know that.
I had fun. So I was messaging with Nicole earlier too because the first two IAD books are both road trips. So just sharing this, I know you guys probably might not. I don't know if any of you will want to read Immortals After Dark, but the first two books are both road trips. Then, I mean, there was my recommendations video. The Tessa Dare book, A Week to Be Wicked, is road trip. Okay. The Bride by Julie Garwood is a road trip for the first half. And then
a road trip with like a carriage. That makes me very happy. Like,
yeah, I know.
I'm just like, wait a minute. I like it. Sorry, continue.
And then you're okay. And then which one else did I say? I can't remember the other one I said. But those were the ones that I thought of right away. So there's some historical romance, and then the IAD ones are too. So
I know Izzy said she had a bunch when she gets on too. So hang tight, people.
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't read it, but Where the Lost Wander by Amy Harmon, it's a new release that just came out. I haven't read it. It's historical, and they are in a covered wagon. But I have no idea if it's good or bad. So.
Cool.
I don't know if that's a recommendation.
I saw like mixed reviews on that one, but hey, I mean, everyone has different tastes, so
yeah. Well, I've heard good things about Amy Harmon in general. So
I really liked Amy Harmon's other stuff. I've read a couple of her things. They're super emotional usually, like they're gonna make you cry. But
oh, really?
Usually, for me, I'm a crier. So
I just thought
One and Only by Kristen Higgins is a road trip. That's one of my favorites by her. And I am reading, which one am I going to be reading for that month? Drive Me Crazy by Samantha Chase. It's a whole series called Road Trippin', but it's the first book in the series, and it's a contemporary series. So I thought I'd start there.
That's cool. There's a Susan Wiggs book called The Goodbye Quilt that's about a mother and daughter on a road trip, but I don't remember if there's any romance in it or not.
I read that one and liked it.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
I haven't read that one.
It's good. It's probably my favorite that I've read of hers so far.
Elizabeth, we need you on more live shows. You're the light side with me.
Right?
My mom knows about that book.
I'm trying to think of some Amish books that have road trips. And I know that there's one, I mean, most of the ones are like about characters where they'll make a trip away and then come back. So it's not like they make a trip together. So I'm trying to come up with something for because I'm going to do a recommendations video where I recommend an Amish book for each of the prompts. So I think that'll be fun.
Awesome?
Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to do one for the author of color though, because I don't think there are any authors of color that write Amish books. I haven't been able to find any, but other than that, I think I can do an Amish book for each prompt. So that's coming up. And interestingly, I didn't even pick any Amish books to read, but I think I just read so many in April that I'm kind of, I'm full up on my Amish books for this year.
Somebody said he started it by Samantha Downing. That's a new release also that I really want to read. Not a romance, but a road trip.
Cool.
Sydney Sebastian was asking old school historical. Where do you want to go with that, Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean put aside your mind? Like, I can list you authors, I can list you tropes. Like, what do you want? That's a very vague thing.
I will answer what I want for that because I have a book. I'm gonna read The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley, but I really want to get into like Tessa Dare or something, but I want like an ease into historical because I don't really like historical. And so I want one that like
Yes, thank you. I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
actually, the governance
What do you
game.
think, Jen? Though you read a lot of them too.
Yeah. Well, I think that I already loved historical, so I understand. But for me, Tessa Dare was my re-spark, right? So
Yeah,
I've loved Julia Quinn a very long time. I loved Catherine Coulter, but those were really kind of the only ones I read until BookTube, and I got like re-sparked by her. And I felt like Tessa Dare was a good re-entry because her books are very funny. Also, Lisa Kleypes's newer stuff is what got me back into it again. So that's really what
I read
now.
Mine Till Midnight or whatever, and I did not like that.
Yeah, see, I love Lisa Kleypas, and that's kind of where I dived in. But like, I know Chloe, you said you didn't like that one.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's go funnier.
Okay.
With the governance game.
Okay.
Yeah, Cam and Amelia, like that's a like darker, more intense romance, whereas some of the newer ones by her, they're a little more. But Lisa Kleypas, she likes more suffering in her characters, whereas like Tessa Dare is lighter in some aspects.
I love the Ravenel series the best, I think, right now from Lisa Kleypas, her newest one. I think those are my favorites. But I feel like, I guess you can read those without reading the Wallflowers. What do you think?
Yeah,
that's why I am. My first Lisa Kleypas book was The Cold-Hearted Rake. And I thought the Ravenels were my favorite, but that was all that I'd read. So I just read The Bow Street Runners this week, which is amazing. I read Suddenly You, which was super interesting. But for Tessa Dare, I would even say what Tamika did. She started with The Wallflower Wager. That one's even funnier. That's very comedy.
I was like crying.
Yeah, because that one's just totally almost slapstick. There's animals. There's like this, it's hilarious. I feel like that's a good place to start. Because people who start with the Duchess deal, like that starts with steam, like on page 10, and it's a lot for people to start with if you're trying to ease your way into it. Not the best place to start. But the Wallflower Wager, I can see how that would be a good entrance because it's very funny and lighthearted, I guess I would say.
Cool.
But that's fair. I'm not really reading lighthearted historicals right now, so I'm not the best. Like I'm reading like dark historicals right now, and just like
if I think of any other like light ones, I'll text them or like I'll send them to you because I like the lighter ones for historical.
Yeah.
I like them both. Like I like the grittier ones if I'm in the mood for it, but I have to be like in the mood for it. So
yeah.
I actually think The Bride was pretty funny. And like, if you read the foreword of that one, Julie Garwood is purposely letting all the comedy stay in it. And that's definitely an old school historical. And it was very funny. And it was also like so heartwarming. Like that's the one I'm reading for our book exchange. And like, I laughed and cried and laughed some more. And it wasn't as like intense and like gut wrenching as some of the older classic historicals. And it's almost making fun of some of the tropes that like a woman, like that women don't have a voice and stuff. Like it's being made fun of in that. That's stupid. So I feel like that's a good one. I think it's 88. Yeah. It's 88 maybe.
I mean, old school historical to me is just, it's kind of a play on words as well. Historical is old. So as long as you read any historical, I'm pretty much not going to be, slapping anybody's hand. But earlier this year, I read Wild in Love by Eloisa James, and oh my God, I laughed in that book. It was just so modern with this whole like they had his pictures up on the wall, and and I just thought it was such a celebrity-esque type It was fantastic. And that would be probably a really good entrance for somebody too, I think.
Eloisa James is really funny. I think
Oh God,
Say No to the Duke. That one was really funny. Her greatest desire, she wants to wear trousers and pretend to be a boy just for a day, like just for a day.
Yep.
She enters into a bet with him that like, if I win this game of pool, you have to take me out on the town as a boy tonight. Like that one's really cute. The whole Wild series is pretty fun.
That was only the first one that I'd read, so I'm looking forward to the rest of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody asked, does it have to be Regency or medieval or whatever? It can be whatever you want that's historical. Rainey said that she was reading Northanger Abbey.
I love that.
And it counts for road trip as well.
Technically not a historical. It's a contemporary novel.
True enough.
But you can read it.
I say
can I show you guys something that I just found? Okay.
What? Go ahead.
Oh, and I was just, whenever you're, I don't want to interrupt. When you're done, I want to show you something that I just found that's old school historical. Well, okay. So just to clarify, I'm really try hard not to be a hoarder, but when it comes to books, it's really hard. And I used to be in charge of the book sales at our public library. So whenever certain books would go through sale after sale after sale and they didn't get sold, then I would say, okay, I'll just take those and I'll donate them somewhere. Well, I also am a steward for a little free library. So a lot of the books that I said I was going to donate elsewhere ended up at my house. And the plan was I would put them in the little free library, but the little free library is always full. So I have literally like 30 boxes of books stacked in my garage. And I knew that some of them were romances. And Sarah, you were talking about books with stepbacks, which I had never even heard of. So I get out there in my garage and I dug through all of those boxes. And I found 3 books that have stepbacks that I want to show you guys. But the most exciting find was a book by Lori Copeland. Now, she's a Christian author, and she writes Christian historical. But I knew that she started out writing mainstream romance, and she either became a Christian later and then decided to write Christian romance, or maybe she just decided, okay, this is not what I want to write. I want to write Christian romance, and she switched over. But I found one of her old historical mainstream romances. You guys have to see this cover. Look at this.
Yes.
My camera is.
Nice.
Look how awesome is that. Sweet Talking Stranger. Yeah.
Oh my.
Talking Stranger.
I know. I'm like, wow. I am tempted to read this right now. So I have no idea what it's about.
You should and report back.
Yes, exactly.
So if you want, the ones that I found with the stepbacks are not as old. They're like around the year 2000, which I guess is still years old. Do you want to see them really quick? It's Julia Quinn, Romancing.
Oh my Julia Quinn.
Bridgerton.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Colin.
Colin was the best.
Colin is my favorite.
And then here's Joan Johnston, The Bridegroom.
Nice.
I haven't read a Joan Johnston.
Me neither.
She writes kind of Western. There's some of hers on the Audible Escape package, and I have read one of hers that's kind of contemporary country Western sort of. And then To Seduce a Sinner, Elizabeth Hoyt.
Oh, she goes dark.
That one.
All right,
she goes dark.
Does she? Because I have that.
Yes.
Well, that's
not as bad, but it goes. They're very gritty, very, very gritty.
Really? Well, and I didn't say I was going to read them. I just found them and stuff. So I mean, if you guys want any of those, I could send them to you. But this was also really exciting. I found these really old Debbie Maycumbers. I got to figure out where my camera is. She wrote for Harlequin. Here Comes Trouble.
Oh my God!
And Because of the Baby. Ending in Marriage.
I don't have that one.
And The Man You'll Marry.
Look at
that.
fun.
This is from the bridal collection. I don't even know what year. This is from 1992, 1996.
Yeah, I think she wrote for them in the 90s.
Yeah, this was from 1991.
Awesome.
But yeah, I didn't even know. These have been in my garage this whole time, and I didn't even know this stuff was out there. Yeah. So I just thought I would share. Okay, that's all my show and tell.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Those are awesome.
No kidding. Trying to see here. Yes to the Bridgertons. A lot of you are doubling up on stuff, and I love that for like the prompts.
I purposely didn't because I read 50 books a month, but I get competitive too, right? So I want to be like, oh, I want this book to fit for 4 of them. But I was like, I can read 12 books. So I tried to pick one for each of them, but I might try to do 2 for each of them. We'll see what I get at the end.
I actually thought about that too, to try to have 2 for each one. But I thought, really, I wanted to say, I hope you read my comment. I think it's awesome that you just committing to one line because, if all the hosts are doing a blackout, then all of our participants are going to think, oh, well, I guess I have to do that. So I guess I can't do it. So I think it's great that we're reading a variety of ways, and that way it makes it more accessible for everyone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is something I don't typically do, and I was nervous to say that I was doing that, but I just have been doing so many readathons that I want to be able to enjoy the month, and I know I'll slot things in as I go. I just don't want to commit to a whole lot right now, so I'm committing to the top row, and then everything else will be bonus.
There you go.
So HEA BookTube is asking about some other prompts. Well, we were kind of waiting to see. Maybe you guys are new. We should reiterate, but tell us which prompts you guys have questions for. We're just kind of rambling. So if there's one of them you're wanting to know, we'll bring it up. But we're just chatting. So
pretty much.
What are you guys picking for your category romance? So that was the hardest one for me because I don't.
I just watched Sarah's video and
right.
Read any of these.
Right. So I don't know if you guys didn't see my video, but I picked the June Harlequin Dare pack. So there's 4 books, and the Dare is the sexier one. So I picked that one, and I bought it on my Kindle, and there's 4 books on it. But what did you guys pick, or have you picked one, or whatever?
I haven't. Are they on Hoopla or Libby or anything like that?
Some of them are found on Scribd, blah, whatever.
It is. Oh, Sarah, I was going to tell you, it is Scribd. I looked at the video with the founder talking, and he introduces it as Scribd, and I figured
interesting.
He's the founder.
Because I can never figure it out.
My library usually has the pack on Libby, so you have to download all 4 of them or however many are in the pack. So there are a lot on my Libby though, so check yours
because they're all
find any on pages. Yeah, right around 225 pages. If I find any on Scribd, I'll send them to you, Chloe. I'll point them out to you. I'll look and see.
Search Harlequin category romance, or
you can just search Harlequin. Or Harlequin. What do you want? Do you want a family one? Do you want a sexier one? Do you want a historical one?
They got it all.
There's a lot of Amish ones.
A lot of Amish, yeah.
Under the Love Inspired.
You just search Harlequin Romance or Harlequin Special Edition or something like that, Desire or whatever, stuff will come up. I'm actually reading 2, but one's for another category. I could literally just pick one. I should do that. I should literally pick a category for every single one, a category romance for each of them.
Or even a specific book. That's
she wishes the Dare books could be purchased in paperback, and she's pretty salty about it.
No, she's very salty about it.
The only one not about novel. I went there, and they had every other. So get this: they had inspirational romance, and then they had inspirational romantic suspense as one.
Yes.
Inspirational romantic suspense, as well as suspense and inspiration.
That's a lot of stuff to fit in a book.
That's actually what I'm reading. I'm reading
I do like the Love Inspired. Yep. They're good.
It's funny.
I haven't picked one yet. I was watching and I'm like, I don't know. They all sound good. So somebody just tell me one to read.
Okay, so I literally this morning just finished reading The Cowboy's Claim by Nina Crespo, and she's an author of color as well. So that would be a double prompt if you wanted. And it's about an actress who is gearing up for a role in a movie, and she ends up spending a month at a stable learning how to deal with horses, and of course falls for the guy who works at the stable. It was adorable.
You could almost do that for the country one too, for the download.
So there's 3. It would work for 3 if you really,
what was it called again? Sorry.
The Cowboy's Claim.
Okay.
By Nina Crespo. Yep.
Bree said she read Temporary Wife Temptation by J.C. Lee.
Mhm.
And she said that's 2 Korean characters, so that could count for diversity.
Yes.
As
That
well
was
as category.
so good. I
Really?
was really hoping that the new one, it was coming out in August, so I could pick it up, but it doesn't come out till September.
Mm.
Disappointment, but that's okay.
Is it on NetGalley?
Yeah, I think it actually is on NetGalley, but I'm trying to limit the amount of NetGalley things I get because I get myself into holes that I can't get out of. So
Preaching to the choir.
I've come up with a limit for myself, which is like I'll only have 5 at a time. But the problem is I never know which ones I'll get approved for or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's how I get in the
Or
holes.
how long it'll take. Like sometimes it's like
Some are
I get approved instant and then yes.
I know.
Yeah.
And some you never even hear back from at all.
Yeah,
correct.
I
Just
told you,
let me know. That's fine.
that there was like if you're approved, you'll know by this date. Like I just wish they would tell you that. Because then
Or
if
like
approved,
anything
you'll be
over
like, oh,
30
it's
months
approved.
or 30 days, assume you're not approved
Yeah.
or something.
Ooh, Sarah, can you put a question up, Sarah, so they can see it? Cheryl Gilmore had one.
Some sweet Christian romances by an author of color.
Do you know any authors of color for Christian romance?
I am reading one, but I didn't bring my books in here. Give me a second and I'll go get the one that I'm reading. Hang on.
Yeah. I'm sure there must be.
Okay.
Harlequin is really upping the game with their stuff now, making sure they're getting more authors of color and characters of color.
Good job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good rec.
Oh, Brie,
Maybe
I haven't read Nima Simone yet. I need to read her.
Oh, I'm reading her. That's my one for Big City Life is the Nina Simone. Blame It on the Billionaire.
Nice.
I got one of the like off the field was on AE, and so I'm not reading that for the readathon, but because I've been wanting to read one of hers, and they were talking about it on Fated Mates. That's a Friends to Lovers. So on the field is a Friends to Lovers with an author of color and diversity. So that would hit 3 for you.
Cheryl, I looked up a couple of, I just did a search for Christian authors, African-American Christian authors, and I've checked one out from my library. This is the one I'm going to read. It's called Right Package, Wrong Baggage. And this is by Wanda Campbell. And I wrote down a couple of other names to share with you guys, and now I just have to find where I wrote it. I want to say Vanessa somebody. Anyway, I'll find it and I'll tell you in a minute whenever I find it.
Jay Robinson says Tony Shiloh might be one too.
Just having a look here to see if I can find anything. Oh, sure.
Oh, I found a couple of authors' names to look up. Vanessa Davis Griggs and Kendra Norman Bellamy are both African-American authors that write Christian books, as well as Wanda B. Campbell.
Elizabeth, do you have your computer? Would you type that in so that they can look up?
I am just on my phone because I tried to watch these videos on my computer and it kept kicking me off. So I'm just on my phone.
Sarah.
Yep, I can do it.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. For some reason, I can't type in the comments, which is fine.
I can't even see the comments. I don't know. Do I have to click on the chat button? Is that
no? You're okay. What's the author?
That's okay. Sarah.
I got it. The book. Vanessa Davis Griggs, Griggs.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendra Norman Bellamy, Bellamy.
Very good. Thank you.
Is there somewhere you think to start with those who don't know like historical literature? Caitlin Marie, to answer your question, I say, what do you like in your normal books? Like that is like, don't think of historical as this huge gateway, because here's the thing. A lot of the historical romances written today feel pretty contemporary, besides the fact people are wearing dresses and there's a little more social rules. So tell me what you like in your normal romances, and I'll tell you where to go for a historical romance. Okay?
Yep.
Like if you like dark suspense, try Kerrigan Byrne or older Lisa Kleypas maybe. If you want it to be funny and lighthearted, try some like newer Tessa Dare or Julia Quinn, some of her older ones. So it depends on what you like. What do you like to read in romance? Transfer that to historical. It's not a big scary gap. Just ask Tamika, who was scared to like try same as other things.
I always think going off tropes too is a good idea. You know, pick a trope you like, and then just literally Google like historical romance / trope, and then usually that's what I went off of.
I've done that with finding BDSM in historical. There's a lot of really good ones that I was like, there won't be this in historical. Yes, there is. And I found them.
You Google it, it will be there.
Yep. See, there's my girls. Thank you, Izzy and Bethany. Thank you for the support. Videos, I include my historical and my contemporary together because the trope is a trope, whether it's historical or contemporary or sci-fi, or there's aliens. Like it's the same trope.
Yeah.
So.
Totally.
Was there another category that was kind of hard for
anybody?
See, I was looking at ones that
you were having issues with friends to lovers, right?
Ash? I was. I think I'm gonna read one of the ones that Chloe recommended, but that might be. I just don't read a lot of friends to lovers.
I love it. I
don't
love
know why. Like, I just don't read a lot of them. But I think I'm gonna read the Brittany C. Cherry book. I think.
Yeah, and then that counts for an author of color.
Oh, true. Yep. Or I'm gonna read. Oh, sorry, my cat's hitting the screen. Stop. Or Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I can get my hands on that one without buying it. So
it's on Scribd if you have Scribd.
I stopped paying for it a while back because I'm trying to like cut back on my subscription.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think both of those would be good. But if anyone else has any good friends to lovers ones, maybe I'll be turned. That'll become my favorite trope now.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one that I like the least too. I mean,
why?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I think for me, I thought about this because I'm like, why don't I like that? I think it's because I've read a couple that sorry, my cat is like headbutting. I think it's because I read a couple that were like friends for a really long time. And my thought was like, why now? Like, why do they want to be together now? Like, I think Second Chance works better for me because they were apart. But like, if they're still best friends, it's like, why when they're like 25 or 30, they suddenly like realize that when they weren't like 22, 23. I don't know. That's my thought process.
See, but okay. I'm going to be the counter to that. Like, I think what you're looking for in a mate or in a, in a relationship changes so much throughout life. And like, for me, I had to date a bunch of like certain types of guys. I mean, not a bunch, but like, I had to date certain types of guys to then be ready for my husband, who's like Mr. Nice Guy. If we would have met when I was like 21, I would have been like, just because he's so nice. That it's true. Like,
that makes sense. I can totally do that too.
Yeah. I can like any trope. My point is like, if I hear that one's friends to lovers, I'll sometimes like take longer to get around to it. Like I've read some friends to lovers that are amazing. Like, of course, but it's like any trope. It's just the one that I feel like annoys me the most. So I usually like if it ran to enemies. That's usually what I like. I like if they were friends and then there was a problem, and then they'll like have talked in like 10 years, and then they're lovers again. But if it's we're just friends the entire time, and then oopsie, something happened, I'm usually like, I hate the trope where like a guy has looked at a girl every day and there's like a makeover moment and then they're like, oh,
yes. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's what I hate.
That's fair.
Or like Izzy saying in the comments, like if one person has been super pining over one forever and then all of a sudden it happens, I don't like that either.
Yeah.
But
the one that
Bridgerton works for me. And that's exactly what happens in it. So there's always something that breaks the rule.
Mm-hmm. And Rainey and I are going to be buddy reading just one of the guys because I'm finally getting her to read a Kristen Higgins, which is my first and my favorite. And that, in a way, I look at as being friends to lovers because they have been friends since they were kids. And, you know, it was like my older brother's best friend kind of a storyline. And she's been
Which I
pining
love
over
that
him,
Yeah, me
you know, and I love that story so much.
Mhm.
See, that trope works for me, like the brother's
too.
best friend. So I guess
Yes,
I
yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a gray area. You know what I mean? Like friends to
Mhm.
lovers can be like a huge gray area,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
And then, like a book I read this week that I won't stop talking. Like my next 3 videos, I'll talk about this book, so be prepared. Was like a one night stand, and then they become like really good friends, and then they end up together. So it was a one night stand trope, and then they just really like each other. Like they have a great time together, and then they become lovers. So like there's different ways that trope works. all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Bree says Sleepless in Manhattan by Sarah Morgan. Is that true? Because I have got to read that series.
Oh, I love that series.
Was it really a friends to lovers?
I couldn't remember if that was.
I didn't think they liked each other.
I get the books confused though. Like the
Yeah, that's
ones
true.
I read, so maybe I might be in the wrong order.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also
That was the first book, wasn't it? Sleepless in Manhattan was the first book.
Yeah.
Well, it was the brother's best friend, right? Bree, if I'm remembering that right. I think it was the brother's best friend. So I guess they knew each other as kids. So
I get, you know, like in a way that kind of counts. Yeah. Again, you know, a gray area.
Chloe, that one would also work for the big city one if you do.
I know. Well, I'm trying to get through Lindsay Kelk's I Heart series, and so I'm going to read I Heart Vegas for that one.
Oh, that'll work.
Yeah.
My cat, she's like.
I forgot about
that. Speaking of big city, that is my most difficult category.
Big city?
That
Really?
Yeah. I ended up finding one that's like 1800s London.
That works.
Yeah.
Elizabeth,
Because
let
I
me
just
tell
don't
you,
read that much in big city.
I was the one that suggested that prompt because you don't have nearly enough of it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I need to write more of it because small town romance is not my jam, and like I much prefer a big city romance, and there's just not that much of it.
I read the whole Coffee House Cozy Mystery series, and there's romance in that, and it takes place in New York City, but I've literally read them all now. I finished the whole series, so I can't even read another one of those.
I read one the other day that I loved so much that I feel like everyone should read now. It's like your book, Jen. I really loved Not a Heartbeat Away, or Just a Heartbeat Away by Cara Bastone. Came out from Harlequin recently.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good. It's like an age gap, and it's a single dad, and she's like the preschool teacher, and then it's really cute. It was really cute, and it takes place in New York, so that's why I was saying that. So, if anyone wants that.
So two things. Number one, I think there are lots of them that take place in big cities, but they're usually like billionaire romances that are a lot sexier than what you're looking for. So I think the trope, like the soft and clean stuff, takes place in small towns, whereas like the sexier ones are the big city.
Big dirty city.
But number two, Ambi Crafts Reads had a question of like, I will probably get my books from the library. Does it have to say romance on the spine?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
This is just like, it doesn't have to say romance on it. You can pick what you want for these. This is just to help us read and talk about it. So
exactly.
Don't get caught up in that stuff.
No, don't.
Yeah. Reading Izzy's comment.
Right. But yeah, like historical books that take place in London, or like the Joanna Shoup books, those take place in New York, right?
Yeah.
And Bree just brought up Debbie McComber. She has quite a few in Seattle, I think.
Seattle, yeah, you're right.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Bree for the win. You need to be on this live stream.
Oh my gosh. Sarah Davidson has a question. BDSM that takes place in historical. Girl, I'm here for you.
Take it away, Jen.
I'm here. You should look up Scarlett Peckham. You should look up, wow, my brain just went flat of all the wonderful ones I've read. There's one by Carrie Silverwood called Surrender that takes place in Egypt, is a historical romance that takes place in Egypt. There's one called The Devil's Submission by, I can't remember the name of the author, but the book is called The Devil's Submission. Those are the books that just came into my mind. But I have a whole recommendation like video on those. So check that out if you want those. So there you go.
Just looking to see if there's anybody else.
Yes, Scarlet Peckham.
Yeah, I know I read a book years ago that took place in Toronto, but it really wasn't that great. So, The Matchmaker's List by, let me try and find the author. That one wasn't bad. It was an author of color, and I believe it was also diverse, and it takes place in Toronto, and it was a lot of fun. Let me try and find the author's name.
Thank you.
What are you guys reading for your disability rep book?
See, this is one that I intentionally didn't pick just because I feel like sometimes that's not on the back of the book.
Yeah,
you know, like there's like some obvious ones that are like,
yeah,
there's this going on, but like a lot of times you don't know that's what's going on until you read it.
So I have quite a few. So you could do either of Helen Huang's books.
I actually need to read the Bride Test though.
Yep, and those work for diversity, disability, and for author of color. And then I had some historicals. So I'm reading The Duke with the Dragon Tattoo because we discussed in ours that like that involves someone who has amnesia. So I'm reading that. The Duke by Kerrigan Burns. He is a war hero missing a hand. And what
I'm doing The Madness of Lauren Ian McKenzie because doesn't that have autism, right?
Yep, that's right.
You just like put me on.
I know, sir. I should have warned you first. Like, hi.
Glad you weren't.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Right?
I know, right?
I can see you in this. Don't worry.
That's so funny.
What else? There's this series by Mary Below that's called The Survivors Club. And it is a group of 7 people that have all survived the Napoleonic Wars. So one of them is blind. Someone's echoing. Sorry, is it Nicole? You just joined.
No, my YouTube's muted. So.
Oh, okay. Someone's echoing. Anyway, there's someone who is blind. There's someone who has he's in a wheelchair, which was very interesting. There's a historical romance hero in a wheelchair. There's someone who is missing a limb, and then they all have PTSD. So
cool. Thank you. I feel like I agree though. It is kind of, without having someone like you who's read them, it's hard to know what you're getting, you know?
This one, there's also a Mary Below book that's called Someone to Wed, where the woman wears a veil because she has a huge birthmark across half of her face. So if that counts as it for me, it is medium spicy maybe because it's a hit.
No, I've read her before. She's,
that series isn't too overly, but yeah, I would suggest that one. That is the only one I've read with a female with a deformed face.
Yeah, I was trying to think of one too, and I couldn't.
I can't. I think that one's Someone to Wed, but.
Bree from In Love and Words, she just read Can't Escape Love by Alyssa Cole. It was like the novellas, and the female protagonist is in a wheelchair. And it's also, that could work for author of color too.
Oh, I don't think I didn't. Is that one of her earlier books? I feel like I haven't heard of that one.
It's a novella in the Royal series.
Oh, it's a Royal series. Yes, I'm thinking.
Yes.
I can think of it.
But she said it could be read as a standalone, so you don't have to worry about reading the series in order.
Awesome.
Just looking to see here. Second Chance Romance. What's this?
Second Chance.
Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Eleanor Gray by Brittany C. Terry. I could just go. These are my favorite. I love them, but those two are my favorite.
Yeah. Someone recommended Chloe Lisi, the Bergman Brothers. I've been hearing a lot of good things about those books, so that's awesome. I haven't read them, but I think they were for disability reps. I believe the characters have autism. But correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Jen's internet conked out on her, so.
I was the same. I was
Jen.
Here she is. And she's back.
Where'd she go?
All right. Sorry, I just like ruined the.
Yes, The Girl He Used to Know. Cheryl, that one is a great second chance romance too. Sorry, I get very excited about these.
I love that one too. Yeah.
Bree's asking, what do you all consider when they went to high school together, never dated, but liked each other?
Sad life. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Sometimes I don't know.
Really.
That'd be friends to lovers.
Yeah.
I think that would be more friends to lovers in my
Friends
opinion.
to lovers.
Yeah.
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 Unless
Because
they
the
actually
second chance, they would have to have like
First
dated at
chance.
some point. Yes.
Something. Yeah, exactly. Precisely.
I think it's cute if they're like they were friends and then didn't see each other for a really long time, and then they're like, "Oh wow," you know, like that's fun stuff.
Actually, I like that a lot. I like that almost better than second chance sometimes. I don't that they were like not quite there because then there's like angst.
Yeah.
And
Damn
love.
that.
And
Yeah, but then it seems like you always run into somebody's been pining for the 10 years that they've been apart.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I like it, the idea if it's like a fresh start of like, yeah, I knew this person in high school. We we were friendly, but now I'm seeing you all this time later, and I'm like, wow, I like you. I didn't think of you that way before. Like to me, that makes more sense than I was pining after you for the last 15 years. Well, then you're just a little sad. Like then you're just a little sad. But if you never really find, and then you're like, oh wow, why didn't I notice you before? Like that.
That is so
Donna.
funny.
I just saw Donna had a comment about an Amish book that had a disability. I was also thinking of one that is it's an early Beverly Lewis called The Postcard that has the main character who is blind, and so that would also work for disability rep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Donna just commented about one that I think it was called Eventide, where someone was going blind.
The Aussie Next Door that I read a few months ago, that one, the main character is autistic. He's autistic. And that was really good, really spicy too.
Is that the Stephanie London one, Sarah?
Yes, that's it. Thank you. That's the author.
I
Yeah.
saw
What's it
it
called?
moving around.
Yeah.
The Girl
Who's
You Used
the
to
author of
Know
that?
by Tracy Garvis Graves. The main female is also autistic.
I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you don't. I feel like you don't see that many adults with autism, but it's starting to come around more. Starting to
Absolutely.
get more of that.
Mm-hmm.
How do I really feel? Oh, I got all the feelings, Shannon. I'm the
How do you really feel, Jen? Oh, that's
I'm
so
trying to
funny.
think. So for me, the Cowboy one was like one of the hardest because I haven't read very many. That was fun. I have one that is like my favorite. Katie Robert just came out with a novella set, and then I got one in my book box, which is just crazy. That I got
really?
and I was like, oh, perfect. So that one was that's what I'm reading for this. But
Nice.
I really love Joan Johnston. I know it was mentioned earlier for the Western. She writes both historical and contemporary. So anything you pick up, it's going to be Western, has some cowboys in it. Yes. I have you want old school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then also The Taming of Jessie Rose by Beverly Jenkins is a really good cowboy one, Western type one. And that would work for author of color too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the one series, hold on, they're behind me. The one series that I really love from Joan Johnston, it's contemporary. The first book is actually called just The Cowboy. So
nice.
I really love that. I love that series.
Nice. I'm reading The Truth About Cowboys by Lisa Renee Jones, which my understanding is it is quite spicy. She's, more so than normal. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down for that. Why not?
if anyone wants a a dark and dangerous cowboy, there is Knotted by Pam Goodwin, I think is what it's called. That is a dark and dangerous, hot and spicy, and cowboy book. So there you go.
And on the other end of the spectrum, Lori Copeland, who I mentioned earlier, she does a whole series of Mail Order Bride from like the 1800s. That's Christian. That's really good. And then more in the medium is Jodie Thomas, who she throws in a little bit of spice every so often, but she's just really good at writing romantic suspense, and her characters are always so likable, and I mean, and a good mix of characters. And she's written historical cowboy and contemporary cowboy and everything. Oh, in fact, if anybody who didn't see my TBR video yet, I am going to lead a read along of the first Ransom Canyon book.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm doing that in conjunction with this. So if you want to read Ransom Cowboy by Jodie Thomas for your cowboy prompt, then you can read along with me, and I'll set up some threads on my Goodreads group, Lizzie Faye's Comfy Corner.
Awesome. Now,
So
Emily March is very much like Jodie Thomas, right, Elizabeth?
A little bit. I haven't read her newer stuff yet,
She
but
gets a little bit more spicy, I think, but she's good too.
Yeah, I've read her Geraldine Dawson books, and they were pretty steamy. But I don't know if she's changed a little bit since she started writing under another name or what. But did you read my comment the other day? You showed a Geraldine Dawson book in your book haul.
Yes.
And I was like, "That's Emily March."
I know. I realized it after.
Yeah. Yeah, she writes a lot of Texas stuff too.
Yeah. Somebody asked if cowboy works for small town. Yes, that's down home country. It's all the same thing. It's small town cowboy. Generally, you don't see a lot of cowboys in the big city. Generally, but I'm not here to judge. But if you do, let me know. Or the swing cowboy in New York City. He'd count.
Kansas, man. Our cities have cowboys.
I have to tell you guys a funny story. I've never seen the movie Urban Cowboy, but my parents, who are both incredibly straight-laced, and my dad was a cowboy, they went to see that in the movie theater and didn't know that it was apparently like porn, I guess. I don't know. So here's my parents sitting there watching this, and my mom wanted to leave. And my dad was like, "No, let's watch this." And he's literally like a Baptist deacon, So she finally got him by the arm and pulled him out, and they didn't finish watching the movie. But she used to always tell me that story, because that was before I was born, I guess, that they went to see Urban Cowboy in the theater because they didn't know that it was really, really spicy.
That's the best story I've ever heard.
Does somebody want to pop out? Because we've got Steve here. If not, that's okay.
Steve! Oh, cool. I can go. Since,
are you sure?
I
don't want to kick anybody out.
Please tell Steve I said hi.
I will.
He can hear you right now.
Oh, okay. Hi, Steve.
Yes.
I need to go give Emily her medicine. So, but if somebody else leaves, I can come back or whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely come back and check. Oh,
okay.
And he's left. Oh, well, that's okay. No worries.
Sure? Okay. Well, if he comes back, let me know.
Okay.
I thought you could have 10. It said on the thing.
If you upgrade for $60 a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And they want a down payment of $240 right away.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That's a ripoff.
Yeah. I was like, it ain't. And I'm like, okay, like it ain't.
For 4 more people.
Pop off. It's fine.
I'll go. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm just going to go on me for the weekly reading allowance.
Yeah.
It would have been nice, but
yeah,
whatever. For the country one, if anyone wants one that's on KU, because I know some people like want that kind of thing.
Yes.
I read in Rustic Hearts by Amber Kelly last year and really, really liked that one. It takes place it's like a small town / I think he worked there. Her family lives on like a farm, and she's from like New York. So it's like the big city girl on it. It was just really sweet, and I really liked it. So
if you want to pop off, Elizabeth, if you don't mind. Sorry, Ashley, for
if I can figure out how. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I was like, Sarah, you have control over that. So
Yeah, I do. I know, but hi, Steve.
Hi,
You
Steve.
figured it out.
Can you hear me?
yes.
I've been trying for an hour.
Oh.
We've had a Ambi
That's
has
the
asked
hour.
what?
I've been trying for an hour to find a device that would get me enough Wi-Fi.
Got it.
to join.
Yes, thank you. This is who I meant.
All of you are freezing on me here.
Oh,
Okay. Do you have an answer for this, Sarah?
I'm trying to think. What
I
I
have
would
an
suggest for Linda Leal Miller would be the Montana Creed series. The first book I think is called either Dylan, Tyler, or something. Oh, it's gonna drive me bonkers. It's it starts out with 3 brothers, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the first one. I think it's Tyler's the first book. But let me see here. That's why I have Google.
all names.
But they're more contemporary. Now, for Linda Leal Miller, she does both contemporary and historical. Which would you be looking for?
Both.
I've never read anything.
Yeah, I haven't read anything by Linda Leal Miller.
I've seen them all over.
sad story. I got a bunch of Linda Leal Millers from something, and I sent them all to Girly Girl Bookworm. If you guys watch her, we're friends. So I sent her a big box of books that included some of those, and her UPS or USPS or whoever it was left it out in the middle of a storm and ruined all the books in it.
Oh,
and I sent her like so many books, and it ruined it ruined everything. She felt so bad, and I felt so bad, but so nobody read them.
Gosh.
I know.
I would be devastated.
I know.
The only Linda Leal Miller book that I own it. I haven't read it. It's called The Marriage Charm. Sarah, have you read that one? Is that one good?
I haven't read that one yet. No. But the first one in the Montana Creed series is Logan. The hell, I didn't remember that. It was one of my cats.
Well, someone was asking where the prompts are, Sarah.
What was that?
Someone was
prompts?
asking where the prompts are.
Where they are?
Where she can get them from, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll put that in the
Any of our
description
announcement
afterward.
videos.
Yeah. I'll put
Any
it
of
up.
our announcement videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to any of our announcement videos, and the link will be there.
And there'll be a list.
And I'll have it'll be a cute little thing. It looks like this.
Yeah.
Cute.
No.
My computer just that was intense. Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions about any of the prompts, or what are we all reading?
Right now,
Anybody
or
want
anyone
want to share what they've got for their prompts, what they've picked?
I
know
put
we
out
shared some of them.
today.
I know some of y'all have done your TBRs.
I can say mine. I don't know if I'm going to do a video. I think I'm going to try, but I don't know. So I can share.
I gotta film it.
So for Downtown Country, I think I'm going to read.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I'm like,
I
don't know
that. I think I'm going to read The Hero of Hope Springs or Stone Hearts by Amber Kelly, which is the second one to the one I said I liked before. And for Big City Life, I'm going to read Can't Help Falling by Cara Bastone, which again is the second one to the one I mentioned before from Cara Bastone, the Big Place in New York. And that one's an arc. And then for Author of Color, I think I'm going to read a Beverly Jenkins because I haven't read a Beverly Jenkins. Something must be done about this. So
I'm reading that one. I'm going to read that one, Nicole.
Are you?
I am
Are
so
they all
excited.
I'm reading the same one, Nicole.
Are they all historical?
I've read this one already, and I have the kind of the newer edition, but I saw this one at a used bookstore, and I'm like, I need it.
I want to find an edition. That's gorgeous.
Should we start with Indigo, or is there a better one to start with? Indigo?
I would start with Indigo. Yeah, Indigo is so
I would
good.
start with Forbidden.
Okay,
completely
I'll write them
disagree.
both down.
Read them both. It's fine. You have all month.
For hot and spicy, I think I'm going to read One Hot Italian Summer by Karina Haley, however you say that.
Nice.
I can't guarantee it's going to be hot and spicy, but most of her books are pretty spicy. So, and the cover is really spicy. So if nothing else, I mean, at least you got that.
It counts.
But it takes place in Italy, and I'm like, I just want to go somewhere right now. So
I know, right?
Dark and Dangerous. I don't know. This was one I don't read a lot of that, but I think I might read a suspense. I think I'm gonna read Such a Pretty Girl by Tess Diamond. My mom read it and like loved it, so she like shoved the book at me. She's like, "You need to read this now."
Oh yeah, that's subtle.
I like.
I know. I was like,
okay, I'm gonna read that one too.
Nicole.
I will get you all to read this book if I have to
beat us over the head with it.
If anyone else wants to share, go for it.
Oh well, just go through your go through yours.
So I have for Sweet and Clean. I don't know what I'm going to exactly read for Sweet and Clean, but I'm doing a buddy read of Caraval, which is like a YA book, so I might just use that because I need to read it anyways. So
no, that's fair.
I think I'm going to use
That's
that.
why
I really wanted to do like like a bake shop or something, like someone who worked at a bake shop. So I may throw something like that in too.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah. And then for road trip, I'm just taking one of your suggestions. I might do Elise to Be Wicked because I haven't read that. And I've read a lot. I really want to
read with me.
I'm reading it too.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh, yay.
So 3 of us are reading that one.
Okay. We should totally read it.
Yes.
And also, if anyone needs a copy, I just cleaned my bookshelf off, and I have 2 copies of that book. So I'll mail it to you.
I love that.
I found 3 different books on my shelf that I had 2 copies of.
Oh,
Like,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how that happened, but
You need to get an app, girl. You need a library app.
Then I get like halfway through and I give up, and then
Make it a day. Mine took 5.5 hours to get them all done. But
Well, if you reorganize again, that's when you do it.
Yes, that's what I
I just finished the rainbow shelf, so it is not moving for a while because that took a long time.
but it looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous.
For Friends to Lovers, I think I'm gonna read Behind the Bars? Yeah, by Brittany C. Cherry. For diversity, I mean a lot of these kind of fit diversity too. So the only other one I wrote down was the Meet Cute Club by Jack Heron. Have you guys seen that one going around?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a novella.
Super cute.
Right? Did you read it?
I read it. It's not a novella, but it's pretty cute. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't know. It has a great grovel. If you like grovels.
Oh, I do like a good grovel.
It's a really good grovel.
Oh, nice. So I wrote that one down. I have it just from KU, so I figured I might read that one. And then Disability, I think I'm going to do The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie or The Bride Test. One of those 2, just because I don't want a historical.
Jen said read both.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
For old school, I think I'm going to go with The Bride. I have never read a Julie Garwood, so I feel like I need to fix that again.
Okay. Are you signed up for the traveling book at all?
I don't think I signed up for it because I'm really bad at reading things when someone tells me to read it, like school flashbacks.
Me too,
so
that's why I like it for writing.
And then the last one, I'm gonna read the Cowboys thing. I think Sarah's suggestion.
Good choice. You'll like it.
Yep.
Chloe, you asked about Beverly Jenkins only being historical. She does have some kind of suspense books, which is like Deadly Sexy, and then Southern Blessings is like women's fiction with romantic elements.
Okay.
So she does have some contemporary.
Cool. Thank you.
Can I go next?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might pop off. Jeremy's got both girls, and I hear crying, so I think I should go help with bedtime. But so, Elizabeth, if you're still here, get back on. Okay,
Yes,
bye, everybody.
Bye, Chloe.
Bye.
Yeah, my sister's here, so I'll tell mine, and then I'll go back to being a good friend and not on
Okay. Fair enough.
So, okay, so I doubled up a couple of mine, so it's gonna be fun. So for Down Home Country, I'm reading Catching the Cowboy by Kennedy Fox. This one I'm also reading for Friends to Lovers. I don't know anything about this book. It came in my book box, but it says it's like he was a brother's best friend and he was her friend and to lovers or whatever.
Perfect.
For Big City Life, I'm doing The Stopover, which is by T.L. Swan, which is the first book to the arc that I read and just like devoured it. I loved it so much. And now I'm going to read the first book because it's about another billionaire and
nice.
They stop in a city and have a layover and have like a one night stand, and then that's the setup.
I like it.
For Author of Color, I have 2 books because they both like double up. So I'm going to do Queen Move, which I'm reading for Friends to Lovers and for Diversity and Author, so it hits all those. And then I also have Slave to Sensation.
I love that.
I just read that one.
Also book on Audible Escape. So I'm reading that one for Authors of Color and also for Hot and Spicy because I figured it's going to be based on that.
Yes.
So that's my top one. So for Dark and Dangerous, I actually went opposite of what would be expected of me. And I went with the book is on top. I went to change.
Nice.
So I picked The Black Lion. Yeah, I just thought I'd be different. And I picked The Black Lion by Devereaux.
Nice.
Because I've been wanting to read that forever. And so I'm reading that one for the old school historical and for Dark and Dangerous.
Awesome.
Then I'm really excited to read that. I've heard really good things about it. And then for Sweet and Clean, I'm also doing a YA. This is my buddy read with my channel, and we're doing The Betrothed by Kira Cass. So that's like a arranged marriage
I'm curious to see
romance.
what that one, because I really want to read it. I love the first 3, but I don't know. I've heard really not great things. So I hope you love it.
Me too. So I'm nervous, but my channel voted for it, so I'm gonna try to do it. Otherwise, I might read a Sarah Dessen because I really was craving one of those when I was making my list. So I might do that. Then for Road Trip, I'm doing A Week to Be Wicked. Can't wait. I've been holding off on my Tessa Dares because I only have a couple left. So, then for Friends to Lovers, like I said, I'm doing Queen Move and Catching the Cowboy are both Friends to Lovers. For Diversity, I'm doing Queen Move. So that one is for disability rep, I'm doing The Duke with the Dragon Tattoo because I'll be done. Well, there's one more Victorian Rebel, but it's a self-published one, which I have purchased, but I'm reading this one to like round out my Victorian Rebel series, which has been so good. I just love that series. And then for old school historical, I have, like I said, The Black Lion, but then my other buddy read with my channel is The Beast of Beswick. So that's why I put that one. I have to read that.
I like
and I
that.
Want to read that.
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't like the best one I've ever read, but it was enjoyable.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm excited. I heard he's like really beastly compared to some other ones where they're like, he's kind of beastly for Beauty and the Beast. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then
he's pretty grumpy.
Romance, I'm going to do pretty grumpy. I like grumpy.
Pretty grumpy.
And then for category romance, I'm going to do Harlequin Dare and I'm going to read that. So
very good.
I just bought a pack of 4. So there we go. That's me. So
Yay!
excited.
Exciting.
Woo.
Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, I can go next.
Go for it.
So I picked 2 books for each prompt because I'm extra. It's like, but like there's one that I want to read over the other, but I just wanted to have options because I didn't want to every time I
That's
make
fair.
a TBR, I'm just like, no, I no longer want to read these books if I put them on a TBR. So, so for Down Home Country, I'm going to read Rugged Texas Cowboy by Laura Lee. I have never read a Laura Lee, so I was, really excited. I have a couple of her books. I was excited to read that one. For Big City Life, I'm going to read Fit by Rebecca Weatherspoon, because I guess it's set in Los Angeles, I believe. At least that's what it says on the back. So better not be tricking me. Author of color, I'm going to read Love in Catalina Cove by Brenda Jackson. I've never read Brenda Jackson, so I'm excited. And
I like her a lot.
And I just love this cover. It's so pretty.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
Pretty.
so pretty.
I love a good font. Like,
Yes.
Agreed.
Like, ooh, pretty. For Hot and Spicy, I'm going to read A Worthy Opponent by Katie Robert, because I still need to continue on with that series.
That's perfect to see which comes out soon.
Yes. I have it marked on my little, I have like a running list of everything that's coming out. So I have that on there. For Dark and Dangerous, I'm going to read Sea of Ruin by Pam Goodwin, because I believe Jen from the Book Refuge, she read that and she really liked it. It's like a dark historical with pirates. I'm like, yes, sign me up.
So I'll let you know.
Oh, yeah? Yes. Let me know.
and then let me know how dark it is so I can know if I should read it.
In the synopsis, or like in a little, it's like, I think it's like a tagline or something. It's just like dark historical with pirates. I'm like, say no more. Okay, great.
Check off all the things.
Right. So, and then Sweet and Clean, I'm going to read Grounded in January by Savannah Hendricks. She's a local author that I have her book actually right here. She lives in Phoenix. So this is a quote unquote sweet and clean. And also, you guys inspired me to read some wintry stuff in summer because it's too hot here. It's too hot.
I agree.
So hot.
For Road Trip, I'm going to read Rhythm Chord, and I think it's Malkin by Mariana Zapata. Like,
Malachi, I think.
That was a good book.
Yeah, it's a good book.
That was good.
I enjoyed it.
So, yeah, I was just like, oh, they're going on a tour, like a band tour.
Tour.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm like, perfect. And I have a physical copy of that book somewhere. So, Friends to Lovers. I don't really read a whole lot of Friends to Lovers, so I just typed in like Friends to Lovers romances on Google, and The Deal was the first one that came up by Elle Kennedy. So
yeah.
There you go.
I've heard, people like it. So I'm like, okay,
They're really
perfect.
addictive. They're kind of like candy, like you just eat them
They're
so
definitely
fast.
popcorn books.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. For diversity, I have, I'm not sure which one I want to read, but like I said, I have two. Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy, and then Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, because that literally just came through on a hold for my digital library. So I'm like, okay, perfect.
Nice.
Disability rep, I'm going to read Can't Escape Love by Alyssa Cole. Old school historical. I'm going to read either Captive Bride by Joanna Lindsay. That was her first book she published in 1977.
Wow.
Or The Flame and the Flower by Kathleen Woodiwiss, and that was like 1972.
That is the original romance novel that got published.
Love it.
Nice.
My mom read it when she was 13.
Wow.
Nice.
Nope.
Yeah, so I like, because whenever I think like really like old school historical, I either think Joanna Lindsay or Kathleen Woodiwiss. That's who I think of.
Mm-hmm.
And then for category romance, I'm going to read from the Intrigue line, Missing in the Mountains by Julianne Lindsay. I just read the first book, Deadly Cover-Up, and it was so good. So good. So this is like a suspense. And also it's kind of like clean, like, because it's like there's no sex on page. So if you don't really like explicit stuff, that
a really good category rec for everyone also.
Yes.
Nice.
That I feel like nobody thinks about. Pragnesia by Carla Cassidy. It is Banana Pants.
Oh my goodness,
Full
yes,
scale.
I read that one, yes.
It's full scale Banana Pants.
Banana Pants?
You can't put it down because it's a pregnant lady who just shows up in the back of this dude's car.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know what's going on. And he's trying to help her. And he has to protect her. And it turns I can't tell you anything else. She's in the back of this random dude's car. He finds her there and he's like, what the F are you doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
It was like one of my first like category like non-desire lines, and I was like, "What is going on?"
So what is it?
made
What is
me
it called?
So happy. It's so ridiculous. Pregnesia by Carla Cassidy is my go-to Harlequin line rec because I feel like it's not what you expect when you think of like a category romance.
That is so funny.
And I've not read as many as you, Sarah, but I was like, this book.
It's banana pants.
It is literally banana pants. It is a wild ride. I tore through that book because I was just like, what is happening?
Now I'm kind of torn on whether I want to read The Bride or The Flame in the Flower because I have that one too. Now I'm torn. I will decide by August.
I will pick one out of a hat.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your TBR, Izzy?
Sure. I don't have it fully locked in because most likely I will say this is my TBR, and then about 2 weeks into August, I will throw everything out the window.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So for Down Home Country, I'm reading White Whiskey Bargain by Jody Slaughter, which is about bourbon makers in Kentucky.
Ooh.
So that should be really fun. I love bourbon. So
I love bourbon.
It's on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, cool. Big City Life. I'm going to read Aletha Romig's Tangled Web series. It's 3 books. All 3 are on Audible Escape. So
nice.
I'm just kind of shoving them all together. They're set in Chicago.
Cool.
Oh.
So big city. That's not, New York or LA or
our
usuals. Author of color. I'm going to read Indigo by Beverly Jenkins.
Nice.
Hot and Spicy. I am reading. Oh, hold on. Oh, I don't. Hold on. Let me grab it. It's too crazy.
Yeah, I have to show you. It's pretty.
It's pretty not to show. I'm gonna read
yes.
by Alexis Daria. If I don't start it this week, that's the hard part. I'm trying to wait, but I kind of want to read it now. So I'm gonna read that. Dark and Dangerous. I'm doing Dirty Kisses by Kenya Wright, which is a mafia romance by a Black author.
Nice.
Sweet and Clean is I'll Be the One by. Oh no, I can't remember the author's name. Hold on. Lila Lee. This is a YA about a girl who wants to be a Korean pop star. Ooh, and there's some romance in it, to my knowledge. That's about as sweet and clean as I can get, y'all. I was struggling. I was like, what do I read for this?
Go for YA. You're safe with YA.
It's true.
I was like, I'll read Sweet Talking Lover, but I read it earlier this month. So that was my thing. I was like, pun the title. Let's read something with sweet in the title.
I forgot I had that. I love this cover.
Yeah, I have that one too.
It's so pretty.
It's super good. Okay. Really, really fun. It's also a small town. So
cool.
It can actually fit for a couple prompts. Road Trip. I'm doing A Week to Be Wicked by Tessa Dare, like everyone else.
Nice.
This is wild.
I just love that series.
Not planned at all. We just all picked it. Friends to Lovers. I'm reading Eleanor and Gray by Brittany C. Cherry. I think that counts. They were friends in high school.
Yeah, no, it would count. I love that book. It was great.
Okay. This is my first
tissues. That's my only advice.
Okay, cool. I'll make sure I can sob loudly while my husband's working upstairs while I read.
Yep.
There you go.
Diversity. I'm going to do Take a Hint, Danny Brown, because I have not read that yet. So.
Nice.
Disability. I haven't picked one. That's kind of my gonna pick it as I go pick. Because I feel like a lot of books I read have mental illness and other things in it. So old school historical. Maybe you guys can help. I'm either gonna read A Kingdom of Dreams by Judith McNaught or The Black Lion by Jude Devereux, but I don't know which one.
I think I read A Kingdom of Dreams a couple years ago, if I'm remembering right, and I liked it, but I don't think I liked it as much as everybody seemed to like it. That's my only. The other one I have not read either. So
I don't know. I don't read a lot of old school historicals. I want to. They're just so long.
Yeah.
That is literally what I'm like, these are 500 pages, but why?
Yeah. They're very intimidating. And I feel like you got to go in with the right mindset. I don't know.
I feel like I'm getting there to be in the mood for them.
Yeah. Oh, Bree said, let's all read The Black Lion.
All right, Bree, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then my category romance is Temporary Wife Temptation by J.C. Lee. Or whatever random category I pick up.
You have it, yeah.
So
I know.
I thought Temporary Wife Temptation was so well done. Like I love that book. It was so good.
It is.
I'm looking forward to that. I still haven't gotten to that one yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
That cover, when it came out,
the
I was
cover
just like, I need it.
Desire, like I was saying to somebody else, Desire is hitting it out of the park with their covers lately. They're
100%. I have been resisting buying all of them.
Right?
Yeah.
I try to read them first and then buy like what I love.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, these covers are so pretty. I need them all on my shelf.
That's right. So for Down Home Country, I'm reading The Truth About Cowboys by Lisa Renee Jones. Big City Life is Blame It on the Billionaire by Nima Simone. Sorry for butchering name. Author of Color. Take a Chance on Me. It's a novella. I'm going to butcher the author's name, so I'm not even going to try and say it. I know Bree said it to me. She knew what it was. I'm going to look up how to say it. Thank you. But yeah, I saw that one and I heard so many people talk about it. I'm like, okay, why not?
It's super cute.
Is it? That's what I keep hearing. And I'm like, yay. Hot and Spicy, Can't Stand the Heat by Louise Edwards. I'm taking, on the heat thing.
I like that series, though. I like that series. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
yes.
Good. Dark and Dangerous is From Duke Till Dawn by Eva Lee, which is a historical, but the cover's really dark. But Jess from Peace Love Books posted the other day that she wasn't loving it. And I'm like, still going to try it anyway. See what, the cover's so pretty. I'm like, it can't all be bad. Sweet and Clean, Elizabeth. I'll be reading Amish Protector by Marta Perry.
Love it.
Road Trip, Drive Me Crazy by Samantha Chase. Friends to Lovers is The Secret Crush by Megan Quinn, which I think is third in the series. Diversity, I'm really looking forward to this one. Hairpin Curves by Elia Winters. It comes.
I'm reading that right now.
Is it any good?
I'm liking it a lot.
Okay, I pre-ordered it. It comes out on what, Tuesday, I think?
Yep.
But it's female, right?
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
It's a road trip.
Yes.
Female, and they were friends and they kind of fell apart and now they're coming together on this road trip to go to their friend's wedding from Florida all the way up to Quebec. So
Love it.
Love it. A lot of proms.
That could check a lot of boxes, yeah. Because I thought about it for road trip too, and then I'm like, where do I want to fit it?
It's really cute.
Oh, good. Disability Rep is going to be Get a Life, Chloe Brown, because it's been sitting on my shelf for far too long and it needs to be read.
Yes.
Such a good book.
Old School, Indigo by Beverly Jenkins, because I think it's her first, is it not?
Yes.
That's why I picked it. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Indigo was the first book ever published by her. Yeah.
And category Best Friend to Princess Bride by Katrina Cudmore. It happened to be on my shelf, and I did this and went, okay, this one.
I love that method.
But yeah. Anybody else got any questions or they want any suggestions or anything at all? Shout it in the comments. There will be another couple of these. I think, is it Kayla's hosting it next in mid, I think, and then, or Chloe. It's one or the other, but the other ladies are going to be hosting these later on in the month.
Yeah, August 15th, Kayla, and then the last one is Chloe.
Yes, that's right. So yay. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, ladies, I guess I should let everybody go. Thank you all so much for joining. This was so much fun. But if anybody has any comments or questions, post them in the comments below, and I'll try and get to them or ask the group what they think for any suggestions. Okay?
All right.
All righty, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Bye, everybody.